All right, good morning, everyone. This is Sean Butter, certified high performance coach, and this is Start Your Day Great, Start Your Day with a Coach. And this is the show that helps you connect to your life so you can live your full potential, live your full purpose, live your everything to at the best of your ability each day. So that's the whole idea for the show. But if you're joining me, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. And please take a minute to do the social media thing where you like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have a question or something inspires you. Please just put that below. That'd be super helpful for me. And let's jump right into it. So today we're talking about, taking a look back this week. It's Friday, so we do our Friday reflections. And today I'd love for you to reflect on when did you recharge this week? Like in this past week on, from Sunday till now, what daily habits did you have to get your head right, to get your energy right, to relax, to let things go, to be a little bit more buoyant, to be a little bit more, balanced as you go about your life? And why is these consistent resetting habits important? Why are they? Um, if you take a look around, I think there are so many people that are feeling burnout from the last 2 years, right? And how does that look in your life? It looks like the tension you have with your family members at home. It looks like the tension you actually hold in your body because you're holding in how you really think, or how you're feeling, and you're trying to put on a strong face. And we've all been doing tons and tons of work. We've all been trying to make the best of the situations we can, and sometimes you just feel like you're at the end of your rope, right? And as a high performance coach and as someone that's trying to help you become a higher performer in your life in the areas that are important to you, it's important to pay attention to that tension. Why? Because that tension generally is an indication that you're not recharging enough. You're not, getting enough of your cup filled, to be able to give and continue to give, right? And so when you're kind of you feel that tension in the different areas of your life, and you're not sure if you can do any more, if you're how much longer you can go. Most of the time, it's you're not managing the transitions between tasks enough. You're not creating enough joy to help get you through, right? It's not saying you have to give stuff up or choose things, especially for people that are high performant. They generally, just glaze over and won't listen to you, in my experience. So if that's you, it's super important to recharge. And so I like to call these wellspring habits. The metaphor that you have a cup of energy and you're either pouring energy out or getting energy or getting stuff poured into it. So you need these habits that generate that water that you put in your cup, essentially. So the wellspring. And so, for me, and this is why it's part of the weekly reflection, I've been getting more into playing music, right? So if you're on my YouTube or Facebook, you can see my guitar in the background there. On Instagram, I'll do a little, you can see it right there. But, before I sit down to work, I'll, play a song and just sing my heart out. And it puts me in a good mood, releases some stress, allows me to get back in, or to get to feeling motivated or get back to motivation, depending on the day. Excuse me. Live show, folks. But that's one of the wellspring habits I have during my day, where like before I got on today, I noodled a little bit on the guitar, just create some noise before I create noise for you guys here on the internet. So, it's super important. Like, I've had times in my life where all I was doing was working, and like I wasn't really eating well, I wasn't really sleeping. Literally, all I was doing was working, and it's not tenable, right? And eventually, like, the work itself wasn't too terrible. the people that I worked with were pretty upbeat and pretty happy, but I was miserable. And it's because I forgot to do these wellspring things that gave me joy and gave me a little bit of meaning and purpose every day, right? Outside of work. I think it's so easy to just be focused on work, especially if you're a teacher, especially if you're a small business owner, especially if you're a professional. It's so easy to just focus on the work and ignore everything else. And these wellspring activities and habits remind you that there's something more to our humanity than work. And I think that's always an important reminder too. So, another like wellspring habit I have is I have a playlist to just pump up stuff. And I have tons of guilty pleasures, like things that I'm not like super stoked that people know about me, but like I'll share it with you guys since you're here. Like Taylor Swift's Shake It Off pumps me up for whatever reason. I really like that song. And I usually like rock music, but that song really does it. There's another cover on a roll from, I think it was really Miley Cyrus for Black Mirror. Like, I don't know, if you ever like nerd out on finding a song and you do all the research, like who is this person? Where did it come from? But it's a cover of a Nine Inch Nails song, but it's way more peppy and way more motivational. So check that out if that's your bag. But listening to music, sometimes while you're working or to get pumped up to do speaking or to sit down and be creative can be super helpful. I know as a former software engineer, like music was a big part of how I coded. You needed something to distract your brain enough to not overthink. That's how it worked for me. So my question for you folks today is, what are your wellspring habits? Like, is it reading? Is it cooking? Is it, there's so many different options and it's so unique to each person, but it's worth thinking about like what fills your cup up every day or when you do it. And then how could you double that next week, right? How could you do more of it during the day so that you're coming from a place where you have more energy, you have more just essence to give, right? More of yourself to give to your work, to your family, to your kids, to your friends, to your health and general well-being. And I think it's such an easy and overlooked thing. And the people that perform consistently over time are tapping into it more, which is why I'm bringing it up for you guys. So if you're doing it already, cheering you on, still, how could you add more of that this coming week? If you haven't really thought about these wellspring habits before for yourself, do yourself the favor, write it down and make a commitment this week to just try to double it each week. And if you start at 0, right, just try to do it one time a day where you're doing something for yourself, 10, 15 minutes to just generate some positive, good energy. And I think you'll really be served by that. So that's it, guys. Go live with more joy, more personal growth, and more impact in your communities. And I will see you next Monday at the same time, same place. Take care.